That sounds like a party just about to start, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm going to have to take a quick drink after that.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fine podcast, video extravaganza, and radio broadcast known internationally as the world famous Smokin Toastin. We're all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. My name is Cruz. My co-host is Mr. Ian Barry. And behind the wheels of steel, our producer is Terry.
What's up?
But that's not important right now, because we have special guests, and mean special guests. We are on location at Nice Ash in the Houston Heights, a wonderful cigar bar where we're going to be able to smoke while we do the most important thing we've done in 487 shows.
This makes us bona fide.
That's right. This is like, all right, suckers, we're for real right now. We are doing a barrel pick today. And so, in order to choose between these barrel pick samples that the fine folks at O.H. Ingram have provided for us, because there's going to be an O.H. Ingram barrel pick, which that should make you excited right there. But in order to do this, we've asked what we consider to be the best palates that we know to come and join us here on the show, and Alan Denney. So,
since none of them showed up,
so by the way, that was Terry's joke, I believe. I just borrowed it for the
that was joke appropriation.
It was, and I'm not even embarrassed.
It made me know, saying it the other day, that Alan really does listen, because he did come after.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Well, Ian, why don't you introduce our esteemed panel of guests, and then we have a master distiller on the line.
Our esteemed panel of guests starts with Roberto from Spirit Box here. We got...
He wasn't actually invited. He was just in Ian's truck. And so we told him to come on in.
He passed out there last night.
We got Dominic Sung from the Whiskey Social. Hey.
Welcome, Dominic.
That's going to be
good
awesome.
to be back. Yep.
Right. Grego, radio personality extraordinaire, and a guy with a hell of a voice.
And a palate, too. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And then who's behind me?
Well, let's see. Joel Swift's been in here a number of times.
Good to be back.
You know,
for something that's tasty this time.
Well, that's the thing. Joel is with Eureka Heights, and they have wonderful beers. But we've kind of established this pattern of anytime we're doing a tasting of something that we think is going to be really awful, we invite Joel to come on and use his exquisite palate to help us decide which of the Buzzballs flavors are the best. And so we thought we'd invite him today to kind of make up for that.
I appreciate that.
We're
Thanks,
tasting
guys.
some good stuff today.
Right. We got Alan Denney over here behind us. And then we've got Joseph Beck over there representing O.H. Ingram. And on a remote call, we got Scott, who was on the show with us, what was that, about a month ago?
Yeah.
month and a half.
Yeah.
So
when we started talking to O.H.
the
Ingram.
master blender. And we are so excited I can hardly contain myself. I might not contain myself, actually.
Well, what can Scott tell us about the barrels at O.H. Ingram that would be candidates for something like a barrel pick?
Great. Is this my time to talk?
This is your time, Scott.
It's weird not being able to see anybody's face, so forgive me for that. So typically the way I run a single barrel pick, I will go into the barge and I pick out different Lacos and barrels that I haven't tapped in a while. And then, I go through a 3-point scale. If I like it, it gets put into a sample bottle, and then I go up and proof everything. So what you've got on the list today, it's actually a pretty wide swath. I've got different age ranges. I've got stuff on the first floor, stuff on the second floor. So you're going to be able to taste not only how it progresses over time, but what each floor, how it impacts the whiskey from floor to floor. So I've got stuff on the second highest rack and stuff on the second rack on the first floor. So I'm looking forward to you guys trying it.
Now, some of you may have noticed that he didn't say he went out to the Rick House. Right. He went out to the barge.
Went to the barge, which I was immediately intrigued.
Right. So O.H. Ingram ages their barrels on barges on the Mississippi River. Would you like to expound upon that, Scott?
Yeah. So we are the only floating rick house in the United States. We retrofit grain barges, and you said it right, we turn them into rick houses. So, we focus on having constant motion, high humidity, and these big temperature swings, and we're able to play with these variables that you wouldn't see in a traditional rick house on land, and that's what makes the magic that you guys are going to be tasting today. We're out there in far western Kentucky in a town called Columbus. We have a lodge that we just purchased a couple of years ago. It overlooks the Mississippi River, and now we're actually open for tours and tastings and everything as well.
Awesome.
Is there anything about using a barge as your rick house that makes the aging process faster or slower? Obviously, the motion and the humidity you mentioned are factors, but what about the actual aging? Does it go any faster if there's motion?
That's a great question. Our ethos, we're not trying to shortcut anything. That's never been the intention for us. You're exposing these barrels to this intense microclimate, and so you're seeing a different variation of maturation, right? You think about barrel or whiskey maturation in Scotland versus in Texas, right? They're gonna be very, very different profiles, even if they're the same mash bill, same entry proof, on the same day. You take those same barrels 5 years later, try them side by side, you're going to notice a really, really big, significant difference. And so with us having, this constant motion, you're seeing more interaction between the whiskey and the oak, the high humidity, you're seeing this osmotic pressure pushed onto the barrel, and then these temperature swings are really what I think does most of the magic, because you're seeing these high heats during the day, especially in the summer, but that same night the river's so cold and that barge is steel, it pulls it all out like a heat sink. So You're seeing this swing and change. There's sort of like micro exchanges day over day, but that starts to compound, and then years later you really start to see a significant impact on the whiskey. So I don't like to say that it's a shortcut by any means. We have all the stuff that you'll be trying today is just 2 days shy of 7 years. It's just it is a very intense, different profile, and you'll be able to pull out a lot of depth and character in our whiskeys even at a younger age.
Love it. We're really excited. I have a feeling I'm going to like them all and be completely lost as to which one is going to be the best. But before we get to things that require a really good palate, let's do the beverage of mystery. Ian brought today's beverage of mystery, and the beverage of mystery is something we like to do just about every show, where one of us will bring a beverage of some kind, some often alcoholic beverage. Sometimes it's a beer, sometimes it's a seltzer, sometimes it's a canned cocktail, maybe even a THC drink of sorts. And the only person who knows what it is when we taste is the person what brung it. And today that is Ian. And we knew he was going to have to bring something with a reasonably large quantity because we had a lot of guests. So, guys, take a sniff, take a taste, and let's go around the room and see what we think. And Scott, I just want to say, you being on the phone, you don't have to taste the beverage of mystery, so congratulations.
I'm bummed. I really hated it last time.
That sucks, because whenever we were together on the show, we were like almost like we felt like it cleaned our insides. This one is not bad. I feel like that.
I don't know. This one tends to I'm drinking sunscreen.
I mean, if you would have tried that thing,
I was going to say, we've had worse beverages of mystery, that's for sure. But it does taste a little bit like, I don't know, like Coppertone seltzer.
I was getting just from general body language, I was getting a little something from Joseph Beck back there. He was indicating I don't think he liked it very much.
This isn't your new favorite?
As a rule, as a whole, I actually like things that taste consumable and don't taste like they should be used in an industrial situation. So I'm going to pivot from the norm of this group and say it's open.
That tells you how much it is.
And here we go. Suddenly I'm having flashbacks. It's all right. Terry will take care of
Of
you.
all the people in the room that I would have thought would have said that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I just want you to know.
And-
I just want you to know. Yeah,
and
your
this
mother
is-
would be disappointed. No, I'm just kidding. I would of all the people, I wouldn't have thought it would have been him.
You were
And by the way,
100% correct.
I'm
My
going to
mother
point
would be
out,
very
like, my
disappointed.
thoughts on this is it tastes like someone tried to make a limeade and then
Added
spilled
coconut?
coconut with some kind of petroleum base.
I think it's because the nose doesn't match what you're tasting.
that could be. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. I don't like it. But this is based
No?
on the things that these
Dominic?
horrendous people have fed me. This is not
Not bad.
bad.
There are worse things.
I don't know if that tells you something about my trauma.
Ian, I'm just curious, is that a beverage of mystery in Alan Denney's pocket, or is he just happy to see us?
I don't know what's going on.
I think it was a test. He was testing us to see who would say they liked it.
Yeah.
And then kick them out of here.
And usually that's Terry. Terry?
You know,
So this has-
I
hold
wouldn't
on.
want this one.
This has boozy coconut water, electrolytes, low fizz, and zero added sugar.
Okay.
It says,
Oh, it's a
you'll
recovery
thank
drink."
us tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
what it
spiked.
says.
It's spiked.
Thank you.
Spiked coconut water from Sunboy.
You're a drinker, you're healthy. Choose.
It
Don't be
says there's a whole coconut inside.
Well, when I say bring me coconut water I cannot get in America, this is not what I mean.
It says
I don't know how many
5%
of you are
alcohol
90 and got that, but
by volume, and it says non-malt fermented beverage.
it's non-malt. That's
Non-malt.
It kind of
fermented
tastes a little like
fermented
a
something.
Ingredients: alcohol, water, reconstituted organic coconut water, reconstituted organic coconut water.
So figure that out.
Dried the water.
Sounds like when
And
a,
added water.
And brought it back.
And
it just sounds like when a country separates and they like reconstitute it.
The macerated pulp.
Ian, show that to the camera so
to extract flavor.
Oh my gosh!
show that to the camera so people will know what
yes,
made
what-
him drop the F-bomb a few moments ago.
Which is funny that he beeped himself. Actually, he didn't finish it. Mm-hmm. He beeped himself.
Right. Yeah. I
I got about half
appreciate
a can left if anyone wants to imbibe.
That's all right.
Let's finish the glass.
You know, it's always good to buy the beverage of mystery in a large quantity container.
Well, we had a lot of people
Makes
on
it
today's
better.
show, so Ian planned appropriately.
The chances of that being good just
Hey, do
like
we have
lowers.
One of those. What?
Joseph, are you shaving your tongue?
Wow.
dramatic.
We got to have him back on for one of the really bad beverages in this.
Yeah. If you have had that Slamsies, you would we wouldn't be having.
God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Slamsies.
Roberto is still scarred. Believe me.
I'm sure Scott is still
I
scarred too.
am absolutely still scarred from that.
God, if there was video that you could see Joel's face, it would be.
We are going to be tasting some beers in addition to doing our barrel pick here because we figured we're probably not going to have enough to drink, so let's go with some beers. So Ian brought all the beers today, and I want to thank. I shouldn't say he didn't bring all the beers because Joel brought all of our show beers.
I've already
which
finished one of them.
have so far been delicious from Eureka Heights. But we'll come back to that. One of your, fellow breweries in the greater Houston area is closing, and that's Southern Star.
That's
And
right.
Ian brought their light lager today, so we'll be trying that, as well as some black IPA and a Dubai Chocolate Temptress Imperial Stout.
Oh, wow.
We'll get
Delicious.
to all of that, and we'll do a barrel pick today, starting next week. Come back, be right back. Listen, our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars, and we're going to be tasting some fine spirits today. But the thing is, today, we actually have to make a choice because the fine folks at O.H. Ingram Distilling have asked Smokin Toastin to do a barrel pick, and we have agreed. And so this Smokin Toastin barrel pick is going to be available everywhere on the internet. And my understanding is once we choose this and it hits stores, probably the best place to find it if you're in Houston, which is our home city, will be at the Specs main location there. My favorite Specs, which is the one down on Smith Street. That's the one I go to all the time and, experience a little bit of what I call lost time. I just go in the aisles and stare.
Isle and Isling.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So we are going to get to that tasting beginning in our next segment. We have a beer to taste here in a moment, but first, Terry, if you wouldn't mind doing the intro for us, let's do the Smokin Toastin Drunken Fact.
And now it's time for another Smokin' and Toastin' Drunken Fact.
The wrong location, you have to sing the fanfare.
No buttons?
Yeah, we don't get to. We don't
It's
get
funny because the last time it happened, I was also in my head.
I would have done it on my ukulele, but I think I left it over there in the chair.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to get it later for Drinking News, which, by the way, we do have teaser headlines for both this and Drinking News, and I forgot to share them, so let's do this. The Drinking News teaser headline is... Oh, wait, you don't have the ukulele. Can't we all just get along? And finally, the teaser for the Drunken Fact, which we're just about to do, but I liked the teaser. It's very important to me. That's it? I'm moving to Germany. All right, and now that we've already had the lovely fanfare, here's today's Drunken Fact. These are true facts, by the way. We know they're true because we find them on the internet. And but we do believe these to actually be true facts, and we're not making up a parody fact. And here's the reason I'm moving to Germany. In Germany, grocery store shopping carts have a special beer crate holder in the back. So you got your shopping cart with your handle, and then right there is huge. And there's a picture of this online. Just Google Germany store shopping cart beer holder, and it'll come up. I promise. It's a wonderful thing. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Out of here. This political environment's gotten too toxic for me. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to Germany.
Somewhere civilized.
Yeah, you know it's bad when you're like, enough with this U.S. stuff. I'm going to where Nazi stuff started. That's
true, though.
That tells you a lot about it.
To the brink.
That's right.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot about it. But no, they do have good beer in Germany and beer crate holders on the shopping.
Hey, wasn't one of them? There was a celebrity a while back who said he liked the Nazis. Who was that?
Oh,
That was Kanye.
Yeah. By the way,
Not
speaking of
surprised.
celebrities, I should share this with you guys as well because I find this to be a very, very important thing. We're going to do some important choice on the show today as we choose our barrel pick. But also, I have to pass along to you that it was recently revealed that Nicolas Cage has legally changed his name.
Whoa.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, Nicolas Cage, by the way, a lot of people don't know this. He is actually a Coppola.
Yep.
He was born Nicholas Kim Coppola from the iconic Coppola family, but said that he'd rather be a patriarch of his own family than the, and I'm quoting here, clown cousin of famous filmmakers and performing artists. He said in an interview that Variety published last week, "I'm Nick Cage in life, and I'm Nick Cage on camera." And now an ad just popped up, so I have to find it again. Oh, yeah. "I'm Nick Cage in life, and I'm Nick Cage on camera. 'Tis better to be the patriarch of my own little family than the clown cousin on the margins of someone else's. So I decided I'm going to bring it on and be Cage."
Nice.
So he's
Hell
made
yeah.
the official legal change. And I don't know about you, but I'm just saying more power to
Go.
him.
And this weekend he had his new show drop.
Yeah.
A full thing, Spider Noir.
Yeah.
It actually,
It dropped
it
this
actually-
weekend, and you can switch back and forth between black and white and color.
And I have to say, I've seen the trailer. It actually looks like it might be okay.
I've heard it was. One of my friends watched it.
I watched it. It's awesome.
Oh, you watched it? It's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I did the math on this, and I figured because every sixth Nicolas Cage movie is really good,
Yeah.
and I believe it's been 5
Yeah.
since we've had a really good Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
So this one's due. That's all I'm
Watch
saying.
it. I'm gonna have to watch it tonight.
I included this because I know that we picked up a whole new subgenre of listeners to the show now that only come in because of our Nicolas Cage coverage. So
I thought you were about to say they only listen every 6 shows.
that as well. That as well.
This is now known as
It's the same set of people.
The Cage Report. The Cage Report. Ian, we've only got a moment left, but I bet you've already tasted this Southern Star Light Lager from the soon-to-be defunct Southern Star.
I did while you were just talking there, and by the way, it's delicious.
That's good.
It is quite good. We have good palates around, but you're like a well-known beer palate. What's your call on this?
It's a light beer. I mean, everything that Southern Star that I've ever had from them has been awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I remember back in the day when Dave split off from St. Arnold and went to go be a brewery in Texas that wanted to focus on canned beer. On
they were the first to can craft in Texas.
That's right. And a lot of opposition to that, a lot of what are you thinking, and here we are. Look at how many bottles of beer we have.
None. None. Yeah. All cans. Yeah.
Plus that coconut thing we had.
Which was also in a can.
Yeah. So there we go. All right, we got to take a break, but the real show starts next. It's time to do our first taste test of a potential Smokin' Toastin barrel pick. We'll be right back.
Potencial.
Welcome back, my friends. It's Smokin' Toastin. It is show number 487, and a historic one for us as we talk about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars, particularly in the fine spirits area, because, as I mentioned earlier in the show, the fine folks at O.H. Ingram have asked us to do a Smokin' Toastin barrel pick. And so today we're going to be choosing from 5 different samples that they've already told us are pretty wide in the variety and in the taste and how they were made. So we're starting with sample number 1 that has already been poured for us. And Ian, have you? I know Roberto's already drank like most of his, but are you to the point where you can talk about sample number 1?
Okay. So the nose on this is sweet. The first bit on the lips, this is spicy right up front.
I have to say this is my kind of. This is my kind of bourbon.
It reaches out and says hello immediately.
It certainly does.
It's interesting. It's spicy, but it's not like a cinnamon bomb either.
Right. But it's got enough spice that it almost reminds me of a rye, just the way that it sort of hits the palate.
Yeah.
Not quite, but almost.
Which also has a lot of minerality to it.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I love this one. We're starting strong. What can you guys tell us from O.H. Ingram about this first one? What should we know?
Well, what I will tell you is everything that you're trying today is a bourbon. And
nice spice.
This is actually a weeded mash bill for this first one here.
Are they all going to be weeded or different?
They'll all be weeded. Yeah. So a lot of that, I chalk that more up to like a barrel spice profile than anything else.
Yeah. Sure.
But it definitely had a little bit of oomph at the gate in the, it's why I suggest saving a little bit for the end, because a lot of times when it comes to a barrel pick, that first one is usually the one that people are put off by. And then when I bring it back in for like the final round, it ends up, half the time being the pick.
Doing better, yeah.
Once the palate's adjusted a little bit.
Yeah.
So we've got both Dominic and Alan here that are members of the group that puts together the Whiskey Social. And so I'm going to guess you guys have tried a few whiskeys in your day.
Just a couple.
What are your thoughts on sample number 1, Dominic?
I think it's a really good example of, I probably would have guessed this in that 6, 7, 8 year age, which
6, 7
which is
that too old?
Am I?
Yeah. Is that
apparently it's out now.
Is that gone now?
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But it starts out a little bit warm and comes right out the gate, firing on all cylinders. There is a little bit of that fruity minerality as it goes from like the palate towards the finish, and really good. I'm excited to taste it alongside the other things.
Alan?
So the nose on for me was couldn't stay.
You did not like the nose?
Did not like the nose.
Why? Was it too spicy for you?
No,
or?
it was the ethanol forward, and not. When I get a nose on a whiskey, especially a first shot, I want some vanilla, some corn, some caramel, some dark cherry, something on it to get me excited. And there was absolutely nothing to get me excited on the nose.
Okay, so what when you tasted it?
The taste was great. I love the burn. I love the whiskey hug that came with it after the first sip. But like he said, your first whiskey, we've already had a couple of beers, we've had some water, we've had some soda, whatever. I'll reserve judgment until the end. I want to try
Yeah, sure.
a lot more as we
Yeah,
go.
there's going to be more to try. Grego, what did you think of sample number 1?
Much like Alan, I enjoyed the first taste. Very, like I said, it says hello to you, and it was a delicious taste. Now, I don't know that my nose is as developed as Alan's to know that I was smelling ethanol on the nose. Now, I did smell it, and I did get the smell of what I thought was the aromas of the ingredients, but perhaps I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm just curious, Alan, if you go back and nose it again, has that changed now that you've got the whiskey on your palate?
No.
Okay. All right.
A little bit of green apple, just a little bit of acetone, which is not off-putting. It's actually really nice with the sweetness. I think it balances the sweetness pretty nicely. So, so I'm definitely interested in the next 4.
Well, you've come to the right place, my friend.
If we're splitting hairs, and we must, right? Because we're
Right, because we got to
pick
choose from
right?
one of the 5.
For me, the finish, while it wasn't it wasn't offensive, I found that there was a little tiny bitterness at the end.
That was the main note that nobody had mentioned is that there's a little tannic note that like you feel soaking your saliva a little bit from the middle here. Is that tannic component, but it's not bad.
Okay, well, so we've gone round on the first one. Anybody have anything else to mention about it?
Fire us up for number 2.
Okay.
I don't know. I got like vanilla and sugar on the nose.
You and Alan can fight it out later.
We'll arm wrestle.
I don't know. I'm going to be real interested to come back to this one
Correct.
after we have done the other
Yeah,
sample.
that's the thing, is that until you taste more, you don't know where you're going with this one.
Right, it's because this is a comparative
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Thank God for the producer.
What we want. By the way, I just like to point out, this is Terry's first episode. He is now responsible for every part of the producer's duty. We don't have anybody helping him
Top to bottom.
put the show together.
That's right.
It's all Terry.
So
If you guys drop the F-bomb, you're just making him work hard. That's all I'm saying.
here we go. Poor Terry, another guy learning how to do more with less.
That's right. Which I don't think that we were on. I don't think we were actually on a segment when
I know.
we said this earlier. But that was what I suggested should be the subtitle of Grego's autobiography: "My Life in Radio: How I Learned to Do More with Less." and I would just point out.
True.
I'll just point out. I have a huge respect for this man because not only is he a lot of fun to be around, he's very funny, and I love listening to him on the air, but also he actually still has a job in radio. I've been fired 3 times. Yeah. I finally gave up on the whole thing.
What time is it?
And then your bosses heard about the title of your book. No, we really appreciate all you guys being here to do this taste test. Terry, do we have time to do a beer?
Yeah, we're only 7:30 into this 15-minute segment.
Ian,
so
what do you think about
we're halfway
maybe
through.
pouring
We
us
got-
another beer here? Do you have the
another
cups?
beer. We can have more whiskey.
It'll take you in a moment to do
I
that.
also love these tiny glasses. Very
Yes.
good, Joseph. Love these
Yeah.
tiny glasses.
While Ian is doing that, let me tell you about a guy that I haven't mentioned a lot on the show, but I do want to put his name up today. He's a cigar maker. His name is AJ Fernandez. And AJ has created a new cigar to honor the entire cigar community. It's a tribute to his many team members, factory employees, field workers, friends, and customers who continue to support this craft. And it was done after the big fire that devastated a lot of the tobacco that he was holding in the barns there. So there's a whole article about this on Cigar Aficionado, but if you're interested in this, as I am, you might want to look for the cigar named Amar, A-M-A-R. That is the new AJ cigar to honor the entire cigar community.
Do they talk about the profile of this particular smoke at all yet?
I haven't read the full article on this. I just read kind of the news release, and I didn't want it to prejudice me when I go in to taste it myself. So
sure.
I'll be looking for the Amar.
You are already predisposed to like it because it says AJ Fernandez.
Well, I am an admitted
Biased.
fanboy. I don't try to hide that. He is my favorite my favorite cigar maker and blender. And I think an example of his genius is when he blends a cigar for another company, like let's say H. Upmann, it winds up being the best H. Upmann that they have. And so I think that's a real, I don't know, it's a real talent. I was bummed to find out through somebody that I know from the cigar industry, nobody that I will point out on the show, that AJ's not considered to be all that nice of a guy in the industry. And I am like extremely bummed. I'm extremely bummed. And I would like to come to his defense and say I think he's just misunderstood.
Well, part of that, honestly, is his non-mastery of the English language.
Well, I was just about to say.
That becomes...
Yeah, I was just about to say, I met him, and I came away, feeling like he was misunderstood because he was speaking in Spanish, and my Spanish is not quite good enough to be able to follow when somebody's speaking like at a full clip. So next time I meet AJ, I'm going to have Roberto there with me to translate.
Have you ever heard the
I got you,
Eminem song "Stan"?
Yes.
Somehow you and AJ, I see you sending him little emails.
Dear AJ. I don't know what to do.
But I
I'm at the end of my rope.
I agree with you. AJ is a phenomenal cigar maker. I also smoke his things. The New World.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
New World is
Just
fantastic.
delicious.
And I just gave Alan today, because he often gives me a cigar out of the kindness of his heart. I just gave him one of my go-tos, which I've reviewed on the show before, but it's the San Latano Requiem Maduro.
Oh.
And I absolutely love that cigar. It's worth every penny and more. So, Ian, are you about to smoke an AJ Fernandez cigar?
That's one of his new ones.
You're doing this for me, aren't you? Is that the Decennium?
It is.
In your face.
Yeah, I would like to note that I gave an AJ cigar, one of my favorites, to Alan. Ian had an AJ cigar and decided to keep it for himself. I'd just like to point that out, because that's how you roll.
Well, since I don't hoard them at home, I have to find them in the wild when I can, when they haven't been swooped up by
somebody who is a fanboy. Yeah,
the AJ. Fanboys.
Tell me about this beer you poured for us. Does this come from one of my all-time favorite breweries?
Well, this is coming from Lone Pint Brewery.
Okay, well,
they make the Yellow Rose IPA, which is amazing. This is also an IPA. This is called their Void Crusher Black India Pale Ale.
It is not what I was
It
expecting.
does not taste like an IPA.
I got really freaking like.
I was expecting one of those dark end of the show
bitter
beers.
coffee all
This
up in
tastes more
there.
like a dry stout to me.
But I got really.
It really does. It's got a real
like,
dryness on the finish.
Because I saw it. I was like, oh, I'm about to drink this like.
There's a lot of coffee
Stout,
in it.
whatever.
There's a
and then
lot
I
of
sipped it,
coffee.
was like,
Oh my gosh. Right.
I was completely.
Black IPAs generally have a bit of coffee in the profile. This may have more.
It's a lot, yeah.
than
It's
I've
interesting
experienced.
because this has like almost a porter profile, but not the finish and not the mouthfeel.
It almost
Right? Like
feels.
it's missing the mouthfeel and the finish to be a porter, but
So what's the percentage in this one, ABV?
7, I think.
Around 7?
I would think
It
so.
almost feels like I'm drinking a
7%.
stout.
That's an early
Carbonated
morning
cold
beer.
brew.
Joel,
Yeah.
let me ask you,
Wake up.
what's different about a black IPA other than the color, obviously, but what's different in the process of brewing it?
That's
Yeah?
the grain. That's the recipe. Roasted grain. My palate. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Lone Pint as well. Right. Huge fan of those guys. My palate. I don't like how roasted grain bitterness and hop bitterness compare with each other. That's
I don't
not
like
my
it.
thing.
That's
Right.
what,
I love stouts. I love IPAs. Dark IPAs or Cascadian IPAs, whatever they're calling it today. It's not for my palate. Now, this is a really good one.
So you're not likely to have a black IPA coming out soon from Eureka.
We've done it. It's not something that we
It's not your
typically are going to do. No.
You know, obviously, maybe not obviously, my understanding would be that Buckle Money is your best seller. Is
Buckle
that-
Money, Mini Boss are kind of
Mini
they're
Boss is
tied.
brilliant.
Yeah, Mini Boss is a brilliant IPA.
Right. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
It's
But
just-
IPAs, I think, should be yellow in color, even minimizing the malt character.
This is
really
definitely not
focusing
that.
on
Not
that.
yellow.
Yeah.
On the hop.
Not yellow.
Yeah.
You know what though? It's funny though because this doesn't have to me, like other than the coffee itself, it doesn't have a huge malt round sweetness to it at all.
Right.
It has a much thinner upfront mouthfeel that
Wow, have you tried going back to your whiskey?
I have not,
You should try that
but I will.
with a little of this black IPA on your palate. Ordinarily, I wouldn't necessarily expect that to work, but it
Whenever
does.
you say black IPA, I really just expect Will I Am and Fergie to just. Every time you say it, I just feel like they're just gonna bust out.
My homes.
Yeah, my homes.
Okay, we just have to stop. What was that song? I mean, seriously.
It was so bad.
That's as good as you could do.
There's nothing better than Will Ferrell singing it while he's
Oh.
on the treadmill in the ice show with him and Napoleon Dynamite.
Actually,
that's amazing.
That actually made it worth hearing that song on the
Yeah,
radio.
yeah.
It really did. It
Nobody
really did.
knows what it means.
Yeah.
It's provocative.
I think maybe Fergie knows what.
Yeah.
Fergie knows what it is.
Yeah, but Fergie's pretty smart like that. So we'll give that to her. I thought it actually worked well with this first brew.
It turns it into a little bit of a sugar bomb, actually.
Yeah, it makes it have a sweeter characteristic.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun to do lots of these comparisons, and we'll be delving into our next barrel pick selection coming up. This is Smokin Toastin. Welcome back to Smokin Toastin. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And we want to say a huge thanks, by the way, to the folks here at Nice Ash in the Houston Heights. Not only do they have an amazing cigar lounge, but they're also working now as a distributor. Is that
Yes,
right?
they have White Oak distribution as well. So if you have a cigar lounge and you're looking for a place to buy all the groovy cigars,
Or a bar.
or a bar, yeah, or any of those
Yeah. As long as you
places
have
where
a
you wanna-
tobacco license.
Yeah, when
right?
you want to stock a humidor, White Oak distribution.
Right. Very cool. Check them out. They are fine folks, and they have a wonderful spot to come and smoke when you're in Houston in the Heights area. So please check them out. All
Also,
right.
a nice selection of the boutique brands too.
Yes, they do. In fact, I'm enjoying right now one of the Knuckle Buster, the Punch Knuckle Busters,
Oh, yeah.
which is, after AJ Fernandez, for me with cigar makers, it's Guy Fieri. So that's where I go for the Knuckle Buster. But this is a Guy Fieri collaboration, so he's the man. I don't know how he's not 800 pounds. Because those diners and drive-ins, that's not exactly, keto friendly, as they say. Anyway, it's a great cigar, but I'm about to light up, and I got excited to find this. This one from Asylum. This is a really nice looking stick. So
I saw that.
I'm about to break into that. Ian's smoking an AJ Fernandez Diseño, so I know his is good. And speaking of good, we're up to sample number 2 from O.H. Ingram. And Scott, what can you tell us about sample number 2 as we take our first, or should we taste first and then you tell us? Would that work
All right,
better?
so
ready for a flavor
unfortunately,
seeker?
again, to help eliminate bias, I can't really tell you too much up front. I can tell you that this is another weeded mash bill and similar age to number 1.
Well, that may be similar, but on the nose, it's wildly different.
Yes,
from the
it
front.
is.
Yeah, it's a lot more vanilla. in this
Everything
one.
on this one's different.
So this has the kind of nose that makes me excited about checking out something, because I just love that vanilla and kind of
I get
a little bit of maple
I
that
get a
you make in
little
there.
brown sugar and
Yeah.
fruit on it.
Yep,
It's like
less sweet.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
custard, kind of like the nose is a little bit sweet and
I
custard.
love custard.
Kind of.
All right, so I'm gonna take my first sip. Have you sipped yet, Ian?
Not yet.
Okay, so
I'm about to.
let's get your official reaction to your first sip.
That is really, really nice.
Very nice.
Oh, wow!
Oh, and the whiskey hug right there, right behind
It's
it.
just like it's a bit intimate. The whiskey hug.
Yeah.
It's
It's a little less casual than you would
yeah.
expect.
Scott, can you tell us the difference of where these two were on the rick house?
So
not
what's
yet.
funny is they were actually pretty close to each other. So
Okay.
they were both on the second floor on F. So the second from the top row. This second barrel that you're trying, this was towards the middle of the barge, and the first one was closer to the bow of the barge.
So, Scott, what would account for it being as different on the palate if it's got that much in common with the first sample?
So, I mean, every barrel is going to taste a little bit different. That's just kind of the nature of it, because you're going to have these wood sugars and all the cellulose and stuff breaking down, and inevitably, just because every tree isn't built, isn't grown exactly the same, there's always going to be some components that change. And outside of that, I mean, that is truly like the only factor, other than being in a slightly different spot in the barge. I mean, we have some sunlights that come in, so you could argue that maybe one barrel might see a little bit more heat as it's getting hit with the sunlight. And we've got these louvers on the side, so some ventilation may be happening. But truly at this point, even though we do document everything, it's a little too early to say, hey, this is why this barrel aging here does this.
It just feels to me like this is a wonderful example for people who are just kind of like learning about the differences in, different barrels, different processes. This is an amazing example of something where if the juice was so similar and it's not in that much of a different location on the barge, and it's got a lot of similarities in how, but yet it's so incredibly different from a taste profile from the first one. And not in a bad, but they're both very good, but this is just very different. And if you had told me it was, it was stored or matured very differently, I totally would have believed that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And I'm wondering, Scott, because you said it was more in the middle of the barge, would that account for a more, perhaps warmer maturation period?
Potentially. I mean, and we also, so while we do categorize where each barrel is as far as its rick, we rack 5 deep, so barrels in the center might see different insulation than the barrels on the outside, especially the one hitting the wall. So yeah, there's a lot to account for that's still kind of
it's a mystery.
That's the best way to put it. I kind of want to just believe in the mystery. I almost don't want to.
But it's kind of true, though, right? I mean, in our experience, like you can literally have 2 barrels that have sat next to each other, bottled or barreled the same moment, taste completely different.
Right? Which I guess is what makes barrel picks so interesting, right? Yeah. It can be the same juice that these guys are putting out on a regular basis, but they haven't gone through that process of trying to make it consistent with what their kind of standard releases are. This is something that's got uniqueness to it. Roberto, what was your take on this?
So to me, this one, it seems to be a little bit more rounded on the every single direction of the flavor palette. Like you get a little bit more. Well, the heat is dialed down a little bit. You get a little bit more of those vanilla notes, a little bit of nutmeg. To me, the spice is very nice. The other one was a little bit too spicy for me. This one is much better.
It is spicy, but not quite in the same way.
Exactly. You get a really nice Kentucky hug, and I do like that. This one feels a lot more rounded, and I feel that the tannic component that was mentioned before, it's dialed down a little bit. Is not the bitter note that you mentioned, and that tells me a little bit more about. I actually have a theory, but I'm not gonna say it.
Well, I really like number 2. We will talk more about it when we come back. We've got 3 more to taste and a choice to be made. So it's going to be an interesting second hour. Not to mention drinking news. All on the way. It's Smokin and Toastin. Welcome back. It's the second hour, and it's Smokin and Toastin. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And by the way, we are heard all around the country on great radio stations like our newest affiliate, which is KWAM AM 990 in Memphis. And Scott, you're in Memphis, are you not?
I'm in Nashville.
Oh, you're in Nashville. Okay. Well, that's
3-hour
good
trip.
because, we don't necessarily want you to be able to just turn on the radio and hear this. You might to take your barrel pick offer back. Because we've invited some very strange people to be on the panel here.
But you know what? I will say that if you are in the Memphis area and you are listening, you're really close to OH Ingram, and you can travel down there and see what they got going on.
And
That's
they're
right.
open for samples and such.
Yes. And by the way, I have it on somewhat good authority that Scott Mayak might actually be present at this next year's whiskey social.
Yeah, it is possible. We're trying to work out the details, but we'd love to. I mean, look, if you're loving what you're hearing and seeing us, if you're watching Taste, come on out November 14th to Houston for the 11th annual Houston Whiskey Social.
And it is totally worth it. Let me just say.
100%.
And I'm not being,
great event.
compensated
Great
in any way. For saying
Really
this.
classy.
It is wonderful. And you guys, Dominic and Alan and the rest of your staff, do a fabulous job of putting it on. You really do.
We really appreciate that.
You had a question, Alan, I think, at the end of the last segment, and I said, hang on, let's make sure we do that on the air.
I wanted to ask, at least the first two whiskeys, are they aged in the same type of barrel, and do they both have the same char level on those barrels?
So same type of barrel, American White Oak, and they're both 4-char. We use 4-char for basically everything across the board, except for a couple projects I got coming down the line.
For the rye as well?
Yeah, for the rye as well. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
All right. So, and these first two barrels, I will tell you, they are from the same distillate, same lot code. So,
Wow.
That's
they're,
pretty cool.
So same age for those two.
Wow.
That's
Good
crazy.
stuff. All right, so now we have in front of us the third option, which I want to point out that only Roberto is so bougie as to have to pour his into a different glass. So
I want to nose it correctly.
That's just that's
Look
just
at those beautiful
Peasants.
glasses.
yeah, that's just who he is. So third sample,
Duh.
Joel. If you, I'm looking at your glass. I think you had a chance to sample
I
some. of
have a little bit more minerality, I feel,
Yeah.
than the first two.
It's my Denver and Lightly bourbon glass.
it. Definitely
go.
get the minerality on the nose.
Hey, can you ask Joe what number this barrel is?
What number?
What number, Joe?
1420.
Oh, okay. 1420.
Now, what I will say about this one, and I feel like it's delicious, but it may be the most, to my palate at least, the most traditional bourbon of the three.
Really?
Does that resonate with
The
anyone?
way it hits.
Right, the way it hits the palate.
Yes.
The way it kind of stays on the finish. It's less about the whiskey hug and more about a little bit of a sort of a spicy or cinnamony tingle on the tongue in the finish. Ian, you're
I'm getting that bubble gum on the finish. I'm getting a little bit of almost a little bit like on the retro hail after it finishes, a little bit of powdered sugar, which is really, really nice. This one feels a little punchier than the rest. Like it's a little bigger, like it's coming in a little higher proof.
No,
It's a little rounder on the palate. Like overall, this one feels real balanced from front to back.
Roberto disagrees about the higher proof.
I don't feel like that. I feel it a little. Actually, I feel like this one is a little bit more tame on the proof myself. I felt like this one was higher. The first one.
The first one I thought
Yeah.
was
the way I would describe it is just a more kind of like traditional bourbon vibe, which again is not in any way a negative thing.
No.
It's like honestly, based on the first three, if you were going to release one of these as like a part of your ongoing line, this would be the one so far that I would recommend for that because it's just got more of that kind of what you expect when you
Open a bourbon.
when you open a bourbon. Absolutely.
So you're appealing a more mass appeal.
Yeah.
You're
Right,
thinking.
right, and again, that's not in any way to say it's not as good as the others. I think it's every bit as good as the others.
But it could be what the public en masse wants.
Right, absolutely, and that's going to be something that you would have to take into consideration, right? I mean, when you're not necessarily for a barrel pick, but when you're blending whiskey in general, when you're tasting in general, it's like the things that are going to be more broadly popular would seem to be a better business decision, right?
Well, yeah. So that's what blending's all about. It's not necessarily about what I like. It's about what we think the consumer in general would like. I mean, you know, the thing that I think Roberto and I talked about this last time I was down there. You know, we're not like my palate. I'm really interested into, you know, dunder heavy Jamaican rums and like and we had some pachuga the last time I was down there. Like just you know, we like a wide variety of stuff. So some of these barrels I picked because I think they're delicious, and some of I picked because I think they would be more of a mass appeal. And so number 3 is definitely kind of that good down the line pick, in my opinion. And it was aged right in the middle of our barge on row C, so literally center level of the line as well.
Scott, did you number this barrel intentionally? Because when you said 1-4-20, legitimately, I was going to say it before. There's some like weed sort of funk on the nose.
Yeah.
No, that's just a fun coincidence. I will say I did pick this barrel. There were a few good ones in this row, but it was in 69C, and it was barrel 1-4-20, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Dom, that's me.
Oh, Alice.
No, but to me, you know, now that I'm going back to, because whenever you let this in this glass, like you let it like dry a little bit, you get a little bit of that like fermented apple.
There's some like herbal menthol stuff.
And there is just that lovely little touch of funk, and you were talking about how you love the Jamaican rums. I just wanted to point out that here at Smokin Toastin, one of our mottos is we want the funk. Gotta have the funk.
Yeah.
That should be a song.
I'm all about the
It
funk.
should be a song, shouldn't it? Grego, maybe you could hunt us down a song like that and play it on your show.
I will look it up.
Okay.
I'm getting some.
I just have to say that this is going to be a really difficult choice.
Yeah, that's what's wonderful about it. They're all so good.
I've already decided that each of these first 3 is my favorite. So that's what's going to make this. But, okay, so
It does beg the question, why must I be like that? Why must I chase
Why
the
can't I
cat?
have them all?
so let me ask you this: what should we be looking for in a flavor profile for something that would be a successful barrel pick? Because it's a little bit different than what would be the best mass appeal thing. This is going to appeal more to like aficionados, people who are going to look at the bottle and say, "Oh, a barrel pick. This might be interesting." So what should we be tasting for or trying to evaluate? Any thoughts?
Well, so one, always try to if you can find off notes, by all means, point them out. You know, those are important for a lot of reasons. Like if it's got you know like any sort of rotted corn funk, please let me know. Heavy minerality is always something that I try to avoid. But truthfully, if you're trying to find something that's going to be a good single barrel pick that you want to stand out, having like 1 or 2 notes that are like, whoa, I did not expect this on the palate based off of what I nosed, or you know, like something that's going to make it a fun experience, and every time you go back to it, you can pull something else out that you weren't expecting.
I like that. Yeah.
So like, well, number 3 would definitely be a good bourbon that would go a lot of places, and people would say, yeah, that's nice. You know, we like to do stuff that would be more like number 2, where it is.
That's exactly where I'm going. Yeah.
And I just wanted
Something
to.
outstanding.
Yeah, right. Something that's really a little bit different. And I just want to say, I appreciate the plug because Rotted Corn Funk, that is the name of my corn tribute band.
Corn tribute.
Here's the fun part.
You
Here's
guys
the
are
fun
not
part.
great.
I love the dynamic that Scott and Joseph have. It's great. So as soon as he said that, Joseph just started dancing back there. Like, you're not supposed to say that.
I wish
we
I
have
had seen
him.
this.
We have him off camera. I think specifically for that reason.
He has a microphone, though. He can say anything he
You
wants.
can chime in anytime. Anything you want to tell us
Yeah,
about this?
this whole time.
You know, I always love when my boss provides insight to the general public about what not to find. beneficial
Yes,
to
it is.
everybody.
Yes, it is. I
Right,
love
boss? Yeah, absolutely.
that. You know,
I mean, in fairness, do we really want people who love rotten corn?
I mean, has anybody heard about with la coche?
That's not. Yes, it's delicious, but that's not.
yeah.
It's fermented.
It's fungus.
but-
It's fungus.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. It was a joke.
It's like mushrooms.
All I will say is we open with "Falling Away from Me," and it's like epic. Sorry, that was a bad corn band joke. So I'm curious, guys. We're 3 in. Don't tell me what it is, but does anybody have kind of a favorite building already?
Out of the 3, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, and I have it based my bartending. Whenever you have to, as always, cater to the masses and everything, and
Right.
when you cater to yourself is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is catering to the masses. Number 2 is catering to myself.
To your,
Does that mean
You
though?
don't think so? You don't think that 2 is catering to the masses as well? I mean,
Not as much as
as
number
much.
3.
So here,
Really?
Does that mean though that we're building consensus on a least favorite?
Okay, then I'm
no,
going to
yes,
be
of
we don't want to start that way. And let me point this out. This may all change once we've had all 5 and gone back through them again, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I would also imagine that probably Dom and I have picked more barrels than everybody. And one of the things, I don't know if you've noticed, I think Dom and I are doing it. We're really not talking about what we're tasting and smelling because I don't want to influence
Yeah, you don't want to.
anybody. I don't want to say what my favorite is because I don't want Terry to go, oh, okay, I see what Alan's talking about now.
Yeah.
I want the people that are, hey, I'm a casual, I want my whiskey at 80 proof to be able to enjoy it, and the guys that want 125 or 130 to enjoy the ones they want and not influence what other people are getting.
yeah, I knew I never liked you.
As a matter of, I'm a salesperson. So everyone else here, I'm a salesperson. What he's talking about is what we like to refer to as priming. When we seed ideas into people's heads to make them buy into our perspective,
Yeah.
it makes it that much more difficult for them to make objective opinions and create buyer's remorse down the road.
Wow.
So, though I don't have a problem at all with everyone discussing. I think it's spectacular. But I understand exactly what they're doing
Yeah.
because in barrel picks, you develop these dynamics in your head about the way you're feeling for the batch, and you sometimes don't want to bias the group just to buy in because of who you are and because of how much you're contributing to that barrel.
All right.
I don't see us
I'm not listening to
having
you,
buyer's
y'all.
remorse because we all
Yeah,
like
there's no
Scott Beyer.
remorse by the way.
I'll just say this. I'll just say this more clearly, right? With the dialogue that we're having around 2 and 3, and not about 1, that tells me we are all thinking that 1 is not as polarizing in any sort of way.
But again, we're going to come back to all
Yeah,
of these.
for sure.
I know we got to take a break, Terry. When we come back, I want to
Never
talk
from
about
this one,
not only number 4, but I also want to talk a little bit about peer pressure in this kind of a situation.
Interesting.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. This craziness is Smokin Toastin, and we are thrilled to have you guys listening to us, watching if you're on video. We are heard on radio all around the country. We are available on YouTube. We're available on Spotify and all the places where you may get your podcasts. So do us a favor, because we wouldn't be a YouTube or Spotify show if we didn't say subscribe, hit the bell, and do all that other stuff. So, yeah, Terry, thanks.
And don't forget, do the Smokin and Toastin on Instagram. Smokin, the letter N, Toastin. Lots of stuff going on there right now.
Yeah, and Terry's really good with the Instagram. It's got a lot of really cool stuff on it. So, and I think, are we putting anything on Facebook? I don't know, because I was
Yeah,
banned from Facebook.
It usually goes on Facebook too. We usually do it on Facebook
Okay.
as well. So it's
Cool.
on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
So for those of you who are like 60 or older, we are on
exactly.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
So we got that. We got that covered. Whiskey number 4, potential barrel pick number 4, is in front of us, and I see Ian is already making notes. And I find it interesting because I'm watching Ian and Grego take copious notes. Same thing for Roberto over there, and for Dominic. I'm just writing down little check marks. That's all I'm doing. So this shows you my, expertise.
Whiskey good.
Yeah, whiskey good. Number 4, Ian, you've gone there, correct? Some thoughts?
Yeah, so this one is the most wood, like that we've had in any one of these. Like
People,
those
people said that about me.
oak
before.
forward,
Whoa.
kind of.
And we digress.
Somebody, but
Oak forward, though. No, you're right about that. It
to
definitely
me, it's the
has-
most oak forward. It's got quite a bit of complexity going on here.
It really
The whiskey hug is a little later than all of the other ones we've had so far.
Back end.
But good all the way down.
Yes. Also very balanced from the front of the palate to the end.
Dom, I'm watching your facial expressions. Tell me about number 4.
For me, I get a lot. I mean, the nose is not super strong in any one direction or other, but on the palate, there's a lot of. For me, it's like cherry and sweet Kool-Aid, sugar, kind of all that.
It has a little heat though on the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like
But it's just middle of the way, like nothing too crazy.
but it has an interesting, very pronounced minerality, like the very mineral. In
Yeah, I
the,
get
right
that.
in the middle there.
You're right.
It dances at the end on your tongue.
Hold me closer, tiny dancer.
Yeah, I got a lot of sugar.
What about you, Joel?
My first note was smooth, which I think you guys said balance. I get a lot of that. You know.
I'm wondering if maybe one show isn't enough to make this decision. That maybe we should do this in the next show as well.
I think so,
Come back and revisit all
Maybe
of
two
these.
shows.
Yeah.
Just retitle the next
No,
one.
but
We really picked the best.
this one now,
Yeah.
based on
Making Joseph dance
your
again.
assessment of
Yeah.
the one of number 3.
Yeah.
I think we lost Joseph.
Now, on number 4,
He's never doing.
is
anything
your
with
opinion
you
the
guys.
same or has it changed?
My opinion of number 3.
Yes, I mean, in other words, is this a step up from 3 for you?
I'm not sure about that. I like number 3 a lot. I do like this one, but I don't know that I like it more than 3. At least in this first pass. Now, I'm reserving the right to change every opinion.
I like this a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ian, what about you? Do you have a leaning so far among the first 4?
Oh, this one I like. I love the balance on this one. I love the dark fruit on the back end of it. I love the overall simple bourboniness of it. And it's got some complexity to it. There's a little bit of old bookstore going on in it and almost a little bit of leather that I pick up.
I love old bookstore.
Old bookstore.
Ian
Dusty
keeps wanting to
tone,
say
dusty
backhand.
tone.
Yeah, it does.
What's that?
You keep wanting to say backhand, huh?
And this is
That
the
happens a lot
woodiest one
with
so
him.
far.
Alan, what's your thought on this one?
It's good. It's very low.
Thanks, Al.
This is why we
So
have
Alan,
our
over here. So
is deep
Thanks.
analytics.
Back to you.
May I elaborate? This is a more, I believe, of all 4 so far, this is a more balanced whiskey.
Okay.
The nose is very similar to 3 and to 2. I think it has 2 still have the best nose of all of them, but 4 is a very similar nose, but it's more balanced. I think this is the whiskey so far that would appeal more to the masses.
So back to a question we kind of already asked, Scott. Should we be looking for something that, the people who are going to buy a barrel pick, trying to look at the customer in our mind's eye here, are they looking? They're really looking for something a little bit different, though, right? They don't necessarily want to pay the price that you would pay for a barrel pick, which is not going to be outrageous, but it's more than just like your standard line of whiskey, right? So are they going to taste this and say, wow, I got something that was really worth that extra, few dollars that I paid?
That's a good question. So, it's really dependent on the account, right? I have certain clients that'll come up and do a pick, and they have a very specific profile that the customers that come into their store, they know when they do a barrel pick, they're going to get something on par with what they're used to. So it really depends on who it's for. In this case, because it is sort of a wide audience, this could go one of 2 ways, and it really just depends on how we talk about it. Because I could see number 2 being it could sell out real quick. And then with 3 and 4, I mean, they are very just solid, steady whiskeys, right? You're having a great experience the entire time either way. But to me, 2 is kind of like that. It sounds like it's got more of a wow factor.
Maybe the most unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, would you consider advertising number 2 with a vanilla something or other because it's so pronounced on the nose?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We've started to incorporate some tasting notes into our, with our descriptions online and stuff like that with our barrel picks. And even the last picks that we did internally, like we used that tasting notes on the actual label to help describe them. So like brown sugar cookie was one, almond butter cake I had as the other one.
Well, we want to come back and talk about this a little more. Plus, we have to try number 5. We have one more beer left. We have to choose between the 5, and drinking news is coming up. So we got a lot of ground to cover. So let's get to that in our next segment. We will be right back. Yes.
And the bonus.
And the bonus, yeah. Welcome back. I love that sound. It is Smokin Toastin. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. Ian's taking a moment to pour the beers, but as soon as he does that, I'm going to have him take the ukulele from Roberto, who I do not trust as a musician. And
I don't trust you as anything.
That's right, and nor should you. I'm just saying. Anybody that's willing to wear an AJ Fernandez cigar band on their forehead, you should probably ask a lot of questions.
As a tinfoil person.
That's all that I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. We have a 5th one to try here. We have a barrel pick to select, and we even have another beer, and we have drinking news. So let's do it.
Drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said, I
had to take my gator to the vet. That was better than I thought.
Drinking news. Yeah. Now it's time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all. Well, before we get to today's main story on drinking news, it's time to go to Boca. That's right, we're headed down to the Sunshine State, to Boca Raton, where the sun is always shining, the waves lap gently at the shore, and if you take a rideshare car, you might want to check your bank account. That's because an unidentified Florida man, working as a driver for the Lyft rideshare company, recently tried to pull a fast one on a 14 and 15-year-old pair of sisters who used the app to order a Lyft driver to take them home from the beach. Now, the girls reached home safely, but Bert Gore, their father, whose debit card is on the family Lyft account, got a notice from his bank about a potentially fraudulent charge. According to Mr. Gore, the charge was for $75 for damage to the Lyft driver's car. Gore declined the charge, and then he used the Lyft chat in the app to inquire about this damage. A spokesperson, or chatbot, we can't be completely sure, informed him that the girls had left a serious mess of food and drink in the back seat of the car, and included a photo that showed scattered French fries and what looks like a spilled chocolate shake all over the seat and the floorboard.
Where's the McDonald's receipt?
But his daughters insisted that they had not had any food in the car and asked to look at the photo. And it was then that one of them noticed the small logo in the bottom right corner of the picture, the logo of Gemini, the AI site that is owned by Google. Apparently the driver had submitted an AI-generated photo of the mess in the car's back seat, but forgot to crop out the Gemini AI logo from the bottom of the picture. The Lyft company apologized, fired the driver, and stated that he could never work for their company again.
I would never.
Now, I took a look at the photo myself, and the Gemini logo is almost impossible to miss. And it's also kind of weird that the cup of the spilled shake in this image has 11 fingers. Okay, I made that last part.
Shake from Aqua Teen Hunter Force. Go for it.
But in our main story on today's drinking news, another U.S. state is putting up a serious challenge to Florida's drinking news dominance. Travel with me, if you will, to Ohio, the state whose motto is the heart of it all. Which, by the way, is probably the lamest state slogan in the entire country. I mean,
Sounds
really,
like an Eagles song.
that's the best you could come up with? All right, in all fairness, the weirdest state slogan is probably not Ohio. It's New Mexico, where the official state slogan is Crescit Inudo, which is Latin for it grows as it goes. Apparently, New Mexico took its slogan from a grinder post. But back to Ohio, the heart of it all, where a family of 10 caused quite a scene at a recent kindergarten graduation ceremony. Before the little ones could line up to cross the stage for their kindergarten diplomas, a family of 10, including 28-year-old Jessica Anderson, arranged their seats in a way that blocked Craig Mays and his wife from being able to see their adorable young daughter graduate. And they also began swearing loudly during the ceremony. Now, this led to a brief argument, and then suddenly, kindergarten chaos, as the Anderson family attacked Mays and his wife, and Mays says he was sucker punched and fell to the ground where he was repeatedly kicked in the head. Mrs. Mays then joined the fracas to try and defend her husband, and witnesses say the Andersons grabbed her by her hair and then started punching her in the face and trampling her in a kindergarten graduation version of a classic bar fight. Video of the incident captured the group of fighting parents falling over chairs and spilling onto the gym floor in what looked like a cross between the Keystone Cops and a scene from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, not for nothing, but it's one thing if a fight like this breaks out in a bar. But to have parents brawling like the upcoming UFC fight on the White House lawn, but in the audience of the graduation for the, and I'm not making this up, the Queen of Apostles Kindergarten School.
Nice!
Seems a little bit ridiculous. I mean, is this what we're teaching our kids? To solve their problems with violence? To create a bench-clearing brawl over seating arrangements? I'll tell you this much. If this happens when my 9-month-old grandson, AJ, is old enough to graduate from preschool, I have no doubt that he would step in, clear the room, and kick all of their asses for disturbing such a sacred event. I'm just saying, this kid is going to be Batman. But that's not important right now. What I feel compelled to share with you is that this story of the knockdown drag-out at a kindergarten graduation in Toledo has left me feeling inspired. Now, you might wonder, what could possibly be inspiring about a brawl at a little kid's important ceremony?
I'm wondering.
The answer is that I feel connected somehow to the dad in this story, Mr. Mays. I mean, here's a guy attending what's probably the most significant event for his little girl so far in her life, graduating from kindergarten. And then he's attacked and most likely thrown out of the ceremony just for defending himself. And now, as some of you know, whenever I become inspired, I like to write my thoughts down, usually in the form of some poetry or prose. And today, this is even more specific because I've written a short sonnet using my words as the voice of the father in this story, Mr. Mays. So now, in violation of several laws and county statutes, and I might add, most likely also in violation of the rules of decorum here at Nice Ash, I'd like to share my poetry with you now, in what would be the
Dear
voice
God.
of the father, Mr. Mays. Could I get a little poetry reading, please? And it goes a little something like this. At graduation, no ifs, ands, or buts. My baby girl got her diploma from Principal Hutz. But the school had to evict me when the Andersons all kicked me. Where, you ask? Right here, in G's nuts. Reporting live from Florida. Or maybe I'm in New Mexico, where I've just posted an AI image of myself that makes it look like both that there is an enormous beverage of mystery in my pocket, and I am really glad to see you. My name is Cruz, and that is your
Drinking news, drinking news. That's our time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all.
Hey!
All right, so we got a lot to get to, so let's move immediately to number 5 on our sample.
Yeah, let's move immediately to number 5. Oh, sorry, I already moved to number 5. I already have a full page of notes and everything.
Terry is taking his cues from Ian here. He's moving right ahead with the sampling, the research, as it were.
Yes.
And Ian, I'm wondering if you've had time to do any research.
I was playing a ukulele.
You've had a ukulele in your hand, so let's go to number 5. On the nose.
Andy was happy to see you.
Andy was happy to see me. Dom, what do you got on number 5?
Not a whole lot, but I just said it's oaky and it's fine and with a long finish.
It is oaky.
Yep.
It is fine. And it does have a long finish.
It's very
You're close.
gentle.
Oh, I like it. A gentle whiskey hug can be important because, let's be honest, the whiskey hug can be a little awkward.
This one to me tastes a bit like there's a little bit of like sugar cookie batter kind of thing going on.
Sugar cookie batter, more bubble gum on
A
the
little
finish.
vanilla. Little bubble gum on the retro hail, like you said. There's a minerality to it that
really
kind of.
like that.
The funny thing is, like after you swallow, the minerality kind of comes back and
So-
it lives on for a little while.
Dare I say this tastes kind of like what you might expect a barrel pick to taste like? Am I off on that?
No, I don't think you are at all. As a matter of fact, I was going to say, Scott, you're crafty because you're bringing us along, and I think so far, this one perhaps is a combination of sort of what we've had, but in a smooth finish version.
Go.
I just said kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that assessment.
So
nothing really stood out.
maybe what you're getting at is that this might be not necessarily the barrel pick, but this might be a good one to see if you could blend for this for an ongoing ongoing release.
I
Am I
just
wrong?
think 0 people will be mad at this one for sure. It doesn't
For sure.
stand out as something exceptional to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just-
so
It's a little more like number one to me, though. If I was to judge them together, I would say it's a little more like number one than 2, 3, and 4.
I want to appeal to Grego here because you're a radio guy, and I was a radio guy for many years, and I always struggled between the distinction of is the best plan to try to get people to not tune out, or is the best plan to work really hard to try to get them to tune in?
Well, the problem is the sales department gets involved.
That doesn't help us at all with the whiskey, but it's a great observation.
There you go, buddy.
Great-
Dollars and cents.
Great
Numbers.
observation. So
We're gonna need a form request form for that.
That's right. That's right. That actually existed when I worked for a radio company. It's a story I don't have time to tell now because we really need to taste this beer. Do you have? Is this one mine?
That one is yours.
That one is mine. All right. So we're getting into a little bit of a time crunch, and we're going to have
What
to
is
use
this beer?
the last segment. Will have to be to actually make the barrel pick. So Ian has poured us this Temptress. It is a Dubai chocolate Temptress Imperial Milk Stout.
Can I
from
ask?
Lincoln
I
Brewing.
want to ask this question before everyone says anything about this beer. How many people have had the viral Dubai chocolate? Actual Dubai Joel, you've had the actual
Yeah.
Dubai chocolate
Yeah.
bar, Dubai chocolate bar. Now, there's
I have
also
not.
lots of Dubai fake things like, Dubai type chocolates or cones or things like that. But
What
the
does
actual
Costco have? Because that's the one that I had.
Costco has one that's a good one. The one that has the little squares.
Yeah.
Is that the one you had? That's good. I've had one from an actual, the right next to Stogie's, there's a place that's a chocolate place. And it
Okay.
actually, so.
And they have Dubai chocolate.
And they have Dubai chocolate. So I wanted to ask how many people have tried the Dubai chocolate because this doesn't taste like Dubai chocolate.
Okay. It is good. I don't know.
It's good.
I
Agreed.
haven't had Dubai chocolate, so I don't know.
It is very good, but it does not taste like Dubai chocolate.
Sour.
There's too much.
Sour?
There's too much
It's
of
just, there's a little bit of sourness.
There's too
in
much
it,
of a fruit in there. There's some sort of a
maraschino,
fruit,
cherry
like a
weirdness.
cherry.
There you go. I
Exactly.
think that's-
and that's
I'm gonna say one word. Has everyone tried this?
Yeah.
Amaretto.
Yeah,
That's what it
100%.
is.
Yes,
That's why you
absolutely.
guys thought about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
But I think that's because
It's almost like an amaretto bomb.
It really is. Yeah. Doesn't
You get
taste
the
anything
pistachio
like Dubai. It tastes like Amaretto all the way.
But I think that's because
I
of the
don't
pistachio.
dislike this.
No, I think it's
But I
good.
agree
Yeah,
with
whatever
Terry.
extract it is.
The chocolate is less of a factor than the amaretto or
Yeah.
the pistachio or the cherry.
Dubai is all about the chocolate, but mostly about the pistachio.
Pistachio, yeah.
And there is no cherry flavor in any or amaretto type flavor in any Dubai chocolate that I've ever had. So.
But have you ever had it on a jetliner that they gifted to the United States?
Oh, now that no.
I'm sorry, that was UAE. I think that wasn't Dubai. Sorry, I get my Middle Eastern countries.
Have you,
confused. Are we at
Cruz?
war
Have
with,
you?
Are we at war with them or with somebody else? I don't know.
So many questions.
But so many questions.
Hey,
Right.
we're getting an app for that so we can see who we're
Right.
with today.
Right. But this is, I wanted to stress, this is not a political show. We just live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Temptress dressed in pure indulgence, this Dubai-inspired edition layers rich chocolate with hints of pistachio, spice, and pastry.
Pistachio for sure.
Sweet and decadent, silky bold, and impossibly smooth. It transforms our iconic stout into a worldly dessert. experience.
So I
Opulent,
should mention-
exotic, and irresistible.
Yeah,
I think it's
Temptress
good.
is their normal stout, so this is a variation.
Yeah.
I think it's very good. It
I
just
think
doesn't taste
this
divine
is
to me.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think this is an amazing beer.
Joel, talk to me. You're a beer guy.
Grego, we're over here.
I am a beer guy. This does not taste like Temptress to me.
Yeah.
So you've
Right.
had the
Oh,
regular
of
Temptress
course, and the
probably
barrel
some of their
aged,
variations.
yeah, for sure.
And we've had a number of them on the show before, but this is the first time we've done this one. And I kind of enjoy this. I don't
is
know
good
if
for
it's my
sure.
favorite Temptress.
It
but-
just like this.
Agreed.
It doesn't taste like a Dubai chocolate, but it's very
Good. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
If you take all the descriptors out of it, I think this is absolutely delicious.
Really,
Yeah.
take a sip and just let it sit in your mouth for a minute and then swallow.
All right. So
Oh,
do
this
that.
is about the like.
Are you going?
12th one
Are you
I've had.
going? All right.
Do we need to leave you guys alone? Or what? Also,
Thank you, Jim Pruitt, for that. Just put it in your mouth.
we're going
it
to
needs
do
more
there.
chocolate.
We're
It needs
going
more
to
chocolate.
take
And
a
that wasn't
break.
meant to be aggressive. I know I have that quality.
Yes.
But
no, it didn't come up.
We got to take a break and return and make our barrel pick selection in the next one. Plus, I think we've got something special for us to taste as well. Once we've made the selection, then we go, okay, here's the really good stuff. We'll be back and do all of that next. Welcome back to Smokin Toastin. It's our final segment. Joel, I wanted you to tell us what you mentioned during the break, which I think is hugely important as we choose our favorite.
Well, I mean, I really think this is about you guys, right? So there's lots of everything we've tasted today has been awesome, right? A lot of these would be on the shelf. You couldn't pick a bad one of these. These are all great.
Yep.
What are you guys at? This is your barrel pick. There's only 100 or so bottle of these that would be made into production. So, like,
Yeah.
what are you guys looking for? Are you looking for something that when someone goes to the store and they see your barrel pick, if there are 3 other bottles, 5 other bottles, 10 other bottles on the shelf that they could pick that would be an equivalent experience, that's not the experience that you want to give
Right.
to someone that's going to buy your bottle. You
Scott-
want it to stand out, right?
Right. Scott, can you offer any words to help us before we try to choose between these 5 excellent whiskeys?
Well, I guess if it's coming down to the wire and you can't really pick between them, I could give you the ages and the proofs.
I
Technical specs.
almost think we don't want to know that in a way. Like, we
Okay.
might want to know it after we've chosen.
I think
Definitely after the fact.
I think you
Sure.
don't want to know that. I think
All right.
that's like what appeals to you.
Based on what
All
it
right.
tastes like.
So here's how this is going to work. I want to go around the table. I want everybody to give me their number 1 and their number 2. And once we have all done that, Ian will decide which one he likes, and that's the one we'll pick. So,
And you'll just blame him for
so
That's why I'm here, my
So
friends.
let's start with Roberto, who, like, all kidding aside, I have huge respect for this man's palate. What are your thoughts, Roberto?
I'd say number 2 is my number 1.
Okay. And if you had to pick a number 2?
Number 3.
Number 3. So 1 would be number 2, and 2 would be number 3. Alan?
I'm exactly the same as Roberto. Number 2 is blew me away. Number 3, it's my second. I don't even think it's close.
Grego.
Strangely, I am with both of them at number 2. Excellent. But number 5, if you drink number 5 and then drink number
Let me go
2,
back to number 5.
there are notes of that vanilla, though not as pronounced in 5, and it's also a very smooth liquor.
I know that before, because he had to jump, but we had our esteemed panelists from the Whiskey Social who told you what his favorite was.
Correct. So he was number 2, then number 4.
Number 2 and number 4.
2 is number 1, and 4 is number 2.
And what
That's so
about
weird.
you, Joel?
Number 2 and number 3 are my numbers 1 and number 2. That's so confusing to say.
Okay.
But number 4 was my number 4.
Okay.
As if
Ian?
anyone cares.
Ian? you're probably the most important voice here.
Wait, so Joe, you were 2 and 3
So
as well?
I was juggling
Wait,
between.
hang on one second. Terry, I didn't ask you.
Joe,
Let's
you
ask
were
Terry
2 and
first.
3. And then Roberto, you were 2 and 3? I'm writing all these down.
Yeah.
4.
I was he was 2 and 4?
No, it's 2 and 3.
Okay, yeah. I'd have to say I was 2, and it was hard between 3 and 4, like that to me.
you're
I
number two?
kind of, yeah, but 2 would be my number 1, and 3 and 4 are like, I'd say 3.
All right, Ian.
After going back and tasting, I was 2 and 1.
All right, so here's what I'm going to announce, and I think this is groundbreaking. Number 2 was picked by every single person here
Yes.
as their number 1.
Yes.
And I gotta tell you, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Just because I know how hard-headed some of you guys can be about your choices, and I know how opinionated you can be, but I think it's pretty clear that number 2 was the outstanding favorite.
What
Tell
was
us-
yours, Cruz?
Number 2 was my number 1, and number 4 was my number 2.
Okay, and number 4 was your number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, why did we all choose number 2?
I think because it was the most unique, the most different, and when we're picking a barrel pick, we're looking for a consumer that is not necessarily, as we talked about, the mass appeal person, but the person who wants to go that extra step.
And I find it very much more complex.
I do think it's very complex, yeah. What can you tell us about number 2 that we might not know?
Scott, you got this? You want me to do it?
I can do it. Yeah.
All right.
So this was there. This went into barrel on March 9th of 2021. So it's 5 years and some change. It's 125.5 proof. And
No wonder.
Yeah, we like it.
Now now that wasn't the highest proof on the table there. The number 1 was actually the highest proof. That was 126 proof.
Yep.
But yeah, it was up there in proof. But you hit all the notes that made me, put it into a bottle. I mean, it really does have a nice depth to it, especially for being 5 years. But I find that like when our stuff turns 5 years is when you really start to hit hard with that vanillin kind of compound.
Right.
It adds a lot of those fun butterscotchy and caramel and vanilla qualities. So it makes sense. I mean, this lot code for this year has probably done the majority of our barrel picks, and then a close second would have been the number 4's lot code. So
Yeah. Scott, would you have picked number 2 based on what you know about these barrels?
I mean, I would have picked any of these barrels. That's why.
Well,
yeah.
100%. Yes.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, number 2, like if it again, it depends on what it's for, right? Because not everyone's gonna want the same thing, but the people that own the stores or own the bar, they know what their customers want. So that is what makes this important. When it comes to this, I mean, it's because we're only gonna get 200 bottles. It'll move regardless. But having something that's really gonna stand out, and the fact that you guys are gonna have your name on it, that's why this is important, why we're doing the whole tasting.
I absolutely love it. Now, we're just about out of time. So one of the things I want to do is we're going to do a bonus segment for podcast and video only, where we taste this last bottle that isn't ours to choose from, but is just one of the benefits of doing the tasting, that they brought this one for us to taste as well. So number 2 wins, and stay tuned because we will tell you when this is going to be available and when you can get the Smokin Toastin barrel pick. It's been a super fun show. This is my favorite show we've done in a long time. Thank you, everybody, and as we like to say as we close out, cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Welcome back. This is the Smokin Toastin bonus segment, which you only get to access if you have joined our Patreon and paid $6,000 a month.
And or the blue link.
Or you just,
We're
look us
just
up on
listening to the
YouTube.
podcast and it just keeps going.
Right. We did have one subscriber at $6,000 a month, but then they canceled. So
You probably should have shown your feet.
yeah, probably should have. Yeah.
Feet finder.
We call it only pallets.
Only feet.
Only pallets.
That's what we do.
Only pallets.
No, this is a bonus segment that you can watch if you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram, or you can check out on the podcast. But our broadcast listeners, unfortunately, don't get to do this one. But the good news about this segment is that you can say fuck all you want to. So, because this isn't going to be on the radio. So here we go.
He's been waiting for it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
He's been holding that one in for a while.
So guys, tell us about what you poured for us. This is just for a treat, too. This is not even
Correct.
for anything. It's kind of like, by the way, I want to mention, and I should have mentioned this before the radio portion ended, but I've been enjoying this business casual session IPA from Eureka Heights. Guys, this is the bomb. Like, I'm a guy.
Bruce, thank you.
Well, I just want to say, as I've been trying to, lose a little weight, what I've been doing is limiting my drinking days to only a couple of days a week. But on those days, I want to drink as much as I possibly can.
Is that the days that ended one?
And yeah, today's one of those days.
Well, it's going swimmingly.
And I want to say this is going to be my new go-to for a drinking day because it's a session IPA and it's delicious, and I can have.
What are the notes?
Well, it's got kind of your typical sort of IPA crispness, but it has. Let me just remind myself.
Going down.
Toodaloo. I think you just lost 2 pounds.
I did. I don't know if you guys were watching, but it happened. No, it's got that wonderful kind of, like when you have a more fruity IPA, it's got a little bit of those notes. It's not a hazy. It's not a West Coast. It's somewhere in between, and it just makes it so drinkable. It's so easy to enjoy. And I will say, because I'm the IPA guy of the show, I'm the guy that's most likely to like it. And your mini boss is one of my absolute.
Which is what I'm drinking.
Yeah, and it's wonderful.
Fantastic.
But if you're planning on having a few, this business casual, this is. It's
Zoom and enhance.
It's the shit. I can say that on this last segment.
Thank you.
So free.
Very kind of you.
But yeah, I know it is very free to be able to drop the S bomb, isn't it? Yeah.
Just be real.
Yeah.
Be ourselves.
That's right. Grego, I just, having been in radio for many years, I know you have that automatic sensor that kicks up in your head. Like if you're about to say something, your brain automatically tones it down to be broadcast safe, right?
Right, correct.
You can turn that off for the rest of the segment.
I know.
Is
It makes me eloquent for a podcast.
No, you'll do fine, trust me. The first time you say, "Oh my God, this is fucking great," is so liberating. I have to tell
liberating.
you, it's so liberating.
Let's try it.
So yeah,
Let's try it. Joel's like,
Oh my God, this is fucking great.
Therapy session.
Therapy. It's like primal scream therapy, but it's cuss words instead.
primal F bombs. So, Grego, you were the first to taste this, or at least the first that we're going to here. Your thoughts on what this tastes like, and then I'm going to have our friends from OH Ingram tell us what.
I'm getting blueberries up front. I'm getting a delicious nose. This is a very special.
Amazeballs.
I just want to say, this is our barrel pick.
Yeah.
And
This is our barrel.
it's there's no real. It's a gentle warmth all the way down, but the flavor is definitely fruit
So,
forward.
guys, what can OH Ingram guys? What can you tell us about this? Scott?
What are we talking about? Sorry.
That's
I
number
used to-
5.
Black
Blueberries. I was like, oh, they're still drinking the beer.
Again,
No.
Getting into that.
That one we can.
We're talking about our special pour.
Yeah, our special pour. Yeah.
Sorry, I heard blueberries. That threw me off. So batch 5, right? So this is a 36 rye, 60 corn, 4 malted barley. So our flagship is our annual release that we do once a year. So it's always something that's meant to be, unique. And I think this past year's won double platinum, right, Joe?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, at the Ascot Awards, which is really cool. So this was a marriage of 8 barrels for batch 5, and I proofed it to 116.5.
Wow. Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, how many bottles of this will you release versus what we'll do of our barrel pit?
So that would have been what I think there was 1,052 bottles that came out of that
For the entire United States.
So do you wind up having to blend for this in order to get that many bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, part of it is understanding what the forecasting looks like, and then I kind of know how many barrels I need to pull for a blend, and then it goes into profiling, the however many samples I pull, usually 100,
Right.
It might be 150 this year, and then I'll evaluate and blend for flagship. So it gets bigger and bigger every year, which is great. It means that we're doing something right, but it also means I have to take more and more time each time I do it. So
Of course.
So, Scott, one thing that we haven't had today is the actual producer of the liquor himself. Tell us what we're drinking. Tell us what you wanted out of this. Tell us what this is supposed to taste like.
Yeah. What was the plan?
Well, one, I mean, I never want to tell anyone what they should be,
Of course.
drinking. Like if you're picking up blueberries, then that's awesome. That wasn't a note that I had initially picked up when I was blending it, but for me, it does have sort of like a dark fruit, sort of like almost like a red wine quality to it.
Yeah.
God, it's been a while since I've actually gotten to try it. But definitely it comes along with some dark cherries as well. If I recall, I think toffee was like a big thing mid-palate for me. And then finish-wise, it came through with a lot of that like dark cocoa, mid tannin, so it definitely had a longer mouthfeel. It almost had like a black tea kind of dryness to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so mild spices on the end, but it stuck around. And yeah, it was same thing nose-wise. It was like jammy on the nose. But I could see where blueberries would come through.
Scott, I want to take you back a few years to when you were in high school.
So is this going to be a long story?
No.
I don't know if that's a few years.
I promise it won't.
Okay.
Scott, when you were in high school, were you ever able to visit your guidance counselor and get advice on moving into this kind of a job? Because I'm still mad at my guidance counselor because they never mentioned this was even possible.
Perhaps entrepreneur.
High school counselors definitely need to get into booze.
Yeah. No high school counselor ever said to me, if you have a good enough palate, you could be
An entrepreneur.
Yeah, and a master blender of whiskey.
My parents were given advice by a guidance counselor they needed to drink with me as their sons. You can take that as guidance.
I like that guidance. That makes some sense to
No,
me.
Scott, serious, man. What was your career path?
It's funny. I don't think going back and thinking about high school, I don't know if I ever visited my guidance counselor, which is kind of concerning.
No, I think it's great.
So I went to school at UCF, when I got out of high school. I was a ranch hand for most of my teenage years and then into college. So I was an environmental science major at UCF, and I was working at the ranch, and then I had an internship in New Smyrna. I was doing an experiment measuring the growth of Alterna flora. I don't know, can you guys hear me? My headphones.
Yes, we hear you.
Absolutely.
We're just relaxed with this story.
Yeah.
So tell us more.
So yeah, I moved up to Nashville and I got a job as a server, and I fucking sucked at it. I had like no social skills, so I got fired, and then I worked at a place called Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery as a tour guide, and so that's when I really started to like fall in love with whiskey. And I was getting a degree in marketing when I was up here in Nashville, so I don't use either of my degrees, and I definitely did not see this career trajectory for me. I was like, I didn't really have a goal in mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a story that really makes you want to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will just say, you mentioned a couple of things in there that are complicated enough that
I'm kidding.
I now understand why my guidance counselor did not recommend me going. Because she knew it would never work.
It's just, I think what drew me in really is like the tradition of whiskey. I mean, I went to a place early on where I was able to try. I was trying a Scotch, and it was like distilled before my grandpa was born, and it was bottled after my father was born.
Oh yeah, we talked about that story.
It's just stuff like that where it's like there's so much history in every bottle that I think is I don't know. There's some sort of weird romanticism involved in that.
Sure, yeah. Well, I just want to say, honestly, this has been such an amazingly fun show. It blows me away that we all picked the same bottle. Were you surprised?
No, I mean, I'm surprised that was everyone's number one. But I will say, like, doing barrel picks is really tough sometimes because there's so much like clashing with opinions. Yeah. So I do like to throw one outlier in the mix, and then I usually have like my favorite in there as well.
Which you haven't said.
So basically you're saying that you rigged it so that we would pick two.
Two wasn't my first choice.
So two questions. Was two the outlier?
No.
And what was your choice? If you would pick.
Two was my number two, and then I did think that was a crowd favorite. The outlier was actually number four.
Okay. So that was my number two. So I feel extremely vindicated in terms of my limited palate.
Did you have a projection what you thought we might pick?
I thought it was either going to be number two or number three.
Scott, what was 5 that I liked? Why did I like 5?
Well, 5 is a 7-year-old bourbon.
Yeah, it's the oldest.
So 5, and it was on the first floor. It's 123 proof, so it is really mellow. Like, it's a very easy drinking whiskey. Yeah. There's nothing that was really like a huge standout, but it's like, hey, I can go back to this, a couple times tonight, and I'm gonna have a good evening. It's a very like chill, relaxed by the fire, have a cigar type of thing.
So I just wanted to point out that Grego really liked the whiskey that would be the easiest to drink the most of. That was his. I
love you, brother.
That was his actual favorite. You are the man. Do you feel seen? Do you feel seen, Grego?
Time is of the essence.
Yeah, I think that's right. So I just want to say we've had so much fun doing this, but I want to give huge thanks and props to Eureka Heights. They brought all the show beers for today. Theirs were not the beers that we were sampling and talking about as much. But I just want to say this, man. You guys have got to hang in there.
You.
As we're seeing breweries struggling and going through tougher
it's
times.
all going to be good now that you said that.
What do we need to do to ensure your future?
Buy more craft beer.
Right. And by the way,
Could you just
Thank you.
buy more craft beer?
buy more craft beer.
Now.
Like we're
Well,
all of craft breweries are looking literally to you.
I would
Not
just
so
say,
much the people around this table, but
for what
just
it's
to
worth,
you.
I
This used
already
to
buy a
be.
lot.
Do it in your Darth Vader voice.
I'm gonna throw him in for a loop.
But this is why we have Grego on the show.
Buy more of the beer, Cruz.
Yeah.
Buy more of the beer.
I am your drunk father.
That's Yoda. I feel like that's more Yoda.
Yeah, it is. It's slightly
Buy
more.
it, you will.
Yeah, yeah,
Drink it, you shall.
yeah. Well,
You're more of a Frank Oz than a James Earl Jones.
yeah, right.
Thank you. Thank you for recognizing.
And lastly, I just want to ask our hosts here from OH Ingram, guys, you have kind of exploded on the scene in my mind. Is that accurate, or am I just looking at it differently?
No, I think. Yeah.
I'll let my boss answer before I will. Gotta make sure he maximizes their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, especially near neck of the woods, we've definitely had a huge launch, and it has been very successful, and that is the majority of that thanks to a man named Joe. So, round of applause for him for freaking knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Extra thanks for Joseph, all the extra stuff he did today, the legwork, bringing us all the samples and everything.
And dropping the first F-bomb and doing great dances off.
It was not only the first F-bomb, it was the best.
Yeah,
it was the bomb.
best
What was your?
It was the only F-bomb.
What was your explanation of that beer that thing that we tasted? Say it.
Okay, you want to know what I really thought of that
Yes,
first?
say it.
You said that instead.
Yeah.
The answer was
Coconut
That tasted
deliciousness.
like a coconut wrapped elephant. That was horrible. That was
The part that concerns me is that you know how to use taste like.
from an elephant. And it has to pay for college somehow.
I was young. I needed the money.
All right, Andrew, guys.
Oh my God.
Simmer down now.
I was doing radio.
all right.
I was young.
So, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was in radio for many years.
How did that inspire a story?
I'll tell you exactly how.
Speaking of,
I was in radio for many years. I was doing mornings on a radio station in San Antonio. We were very successful, and I had a great ongoing relationship with one of the comedy clubs there. And the relationship was, when they needed help for a show that they needed to sell more tickets for, they would call and say, "Hey, can we bring on comic Joe Schmo, who's going to be here this weekend?" And I would be like, "Sure." And if he
Joe
would come
Schmo
on,
is hilarious.
if Joe Schmo was hilarious, we'd do like a couple of segments with him.
Yeah.
If Joe Schmo wasn't that funny, we'd just go, "Hey, thanks very much. He's going to be this weekend at the comedy club," and blah blah blah. And in return, she would bring us occasionally some bigger name comics, and that they didn't really need the help with, but that was the quid pro quo, right?
Yeah.
So she called me one day and said, "Hey, listen, we've got this new comic, and you probably don't know that much about him, but he was in the movie Pretty in Pink." I was like, "All right, cool. That'll give us something to talk about if he's not funny, right?"
Yeah.
He comes on. We're talking about the news. He's riffing on the news, and he's this is a bonus segment. Fucking hilarious. Like, the guy is just spot on. And we had him on for like an hour, and he's riffing on everything we're talking about,
Love it.
and he's as funny as he can be.
And when you're a radio guy,
Oh.
you pray for them.
Oh yeah, and you turn the mic over to that
Let them
person
go.
and let them go. 100%.
Bill
Yes,
Cosby.
absolutely. well, maybe not.
Whoa.
Maybe not.
Let's not give them drinks.
Yeah. Bill Cosby bought me a cocktail once, and I have no idea what happened after that. But anyway, the end to my story is the guy was hilarious, and I thanked him, and I said, I'm going to come out to the show, which I did not do. But a couple of years later, somebody gave me a cassette tape of his first album. And I listened to it, and it was hilarious, but I thought, how did this guy have any material he could do on the radio? that was clean enough for the radio, and it was Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
And so I've had, even though he's kind of a dunderhead, I've had this level of respect for him ever since, that he was able to come on and be appropriate on a radio show and still be incredibly fun.
That's so Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
So I had Andrew Dice. I had Dice on in Tampa at night, doing an interview one night, and we're talking, and I know that I need to push his buttons to get him to go off.
Right.
Dice
To get him to
style,
really,
right?
yeah, sure, yeah.
Pick up that mic, Grego. Pick up that mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I knew that I had to push his buttons to get him to go off. And I said something that, if I'm being quite honest with you now, I don't know exactly what it was, but I was like, okay, Dice, you got something to the effect of, you got anything else, buddy? I gotta go. And at the time, I was doing 7 to midnight on 95 YNF in Tampa, next to Bubba the Love Sponge doing nights on 98 Rock.
Yep.
And he goes, this fucking guy, I'm sitting there in this hotel room, I'm pissing in this chick's mouth. And you fucking telling me what the...
And he's the dumb button. The dumb button only works so many times, right? In succession. Oh my God. That is just brilliant. That is just brilliant.
And now, Peter Frampton, do you feel like we do?
Yeah, he's something, man. He's
the real guy. I don't know how our show has gotten to that, but I do want to say to our friends at OH Ingram, hey, we love you guys. I mean, this flagship,
Fantastic.
holy
It's been phenomenal.
cow, that is good.
They were all excellent.
Yeah.
And as you sip them all now.
But I just want to say, nothing measured up to the excellence of the Smokin Toastin barrel pick number 2.
Hell yeah, baby.
And so this is going to be available soon. Not only
And our which
all over the
retailers?
country. Yeah, not
All over the country?
all over the country through the website, right?
Yeah, we're gonna actually get all that information to you guys, so you can put it on your website, your socials, and we'll show you all the distribution channels that are out there. But
And I just wanted to say, your initial idea, which I appreciated, of putting Ian's picture on the bottle,
yeah,
I think we should pass on that.
well, I thought the clown makeup looked excellent.
Okay, well,
I mean-
perhaps we should reevaluate. But
Yeah.
no, you
Dude,
will see-
I bought
I
the
think we should call this barrel
Speedos
pick the
specifically
F-bomb.
for that picture.
and so all
I'm staying for it.
Scott, how do you think it would go if I make a quick blend on my glass of the 5 expressions?
Oh,
Well, we'd have to figure that out.
Okay.
He'll send you his resume.
yeah.
Yeah, man, come up.
I just want to say,
Cool.
Look, he's my buddy. He's my
I just want to say that one of the reasons,
We did Instagram posts together. He's my buddy.
hey, one of the reasons we love having Roberto on the show is because he's completely fearless and sometimes just completely incoherent.
It looks like an
So-
infinity cup.
And often wrong.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Probably going to go something like this. Good night, folks.
Yeah. Or as I like to say, but that's all, folks.
What do you think?
Combining all
No,
5.
it's actually quite good. I don't know if
Quite
you-
good.
All right. He's
That's-
going to pass
that's the way
that
she
around.
grabbed to me in the
That's
glass.
the
Oh,
good
it
cup.
actually smells really good. too.
That's to me the essence of OH Ingram in a
So that's
like-
what. So what we
I'm
really
gonna
need to do is just mix all
No,
5
I'm
of
gonna-
them together.
I'm gonna be honest. I've been very fortunate to spend a lot of time with Joseph and with Scott and taste a lot of stuff together with them, and just like they have. And I've acquired a lot of that DNA of what OH Ingram is. Knowledge, of course, from Scott. I got a lot of knowledge and the DNA of what it should be. And that to me is the DNA of OH Ingram.
Right. Well, I mean, the whole premise of having an infinity bottle is
Dude.
that if it works, if it's good, you just put it in a bottle, and then Okay, the whole premise behind having an infinity bottle is that if you like it, put it in a bottle. Like take the last dram, put it in a bottle, and at the end of the year, a couple of years, or whatever, you're going to have your curated bottle of stuff that you love.
So-
and it's going to be fantastic.
So an infinity bottle is thought about before you begin? Or
Disagree.
No.
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 You could look at it like a process like you would look at molding.
But I
where you
think-
want a throughput
Exactly.
of flavor profiles that develop over time.
Do I like it or do I not like it?
Yeah, and as you curate that flavor profile, you develop a palate. Our job is to be reflective of the evolution of the brand. One of the things that's said often by Hank, our owner, is that this is the worst the whiskey will ever be.
Yeah.
But what that simply states to is that every step of the way, our brand is evolving and getting better.
Better and
As
better, yeah.
Scott's palate is refined, he becomes sharper on his cuts, makes better decisions, and
It's
makes
just-
the product better every single year. Well,
And in all honesty, sometimes those cuts may not be to your liking,
yeah.
right? As a
So-
consumer,
Yes.
right?
So this last whiskey that we tried, this flagship whiskey, this is something that's available. Like, this isn't something people have to wait for the Smokin Toastin barrel pick to come out.
Well-
this is out there now.
Scott, you want to handle this one?
Well, so yes and no. It's an LTO, right? So being that it is a small quantity, like if you see it on the shelf, buy it. But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not something you're gonna find readily, like always available.
This one was a 2025, right?
And yet
Yeah,
you,
that was 2025.
and yet you brought a bottle of it here for us to sample.
Correct.
So this seems like an appropriate time to give Ian his next cup because.
Which is smaller than what
Ian
he
just
usually
wants a
brings
sample.
in of one of these
Which
shows.
is
Weird on camera, it looks right.
So, guys, we could not be more proud and excited to be
I feel
getting
like Solo
involved.
Cup should
Yeah.
sponsor
They're
us.
so tiny.
Yeah, I feel like
Right, look how tiny it makes me. It's like it's the opposite of those cans
Look at your hand.
where they put the non-flavored beer in the what's that called? Michelob Zero or
Michelob Ultra Zero.
Michelob Ultra, right? And it makes my hands look enormous.
It's right.
That's right. Yeah.
This looks, comfortable.
Like a normal red Zilla cup.
Right.
Big
It's
man.
like Shaq
For
palming a
anybody that
big
doesn't know, Ian is a big man, but he is a wonderful human, and he knows so much about this.
Yeah, he does.
disagree.
This.
Politely.
I'm gonna pass the microphone.
What the hell did you do to Joel? What the hell did you do
Hey,
to him?
you know what? You know what? This is. I'll tell you.
All right, in my defense, Joel's probably known me longer than everybody here.
But honestly,
So you've
in
done
your defense,
heinous
in
things to
Joel's
him.
defense, you're the one that always invites him onto the shows that we try the crappiest stuff.
And in Terry's defense, he talks too much.
Yeah. And by the way,
These guys are mean.
by the way, I just want to point out, Ian's holding in the most ginormous solo cup ever created.
It's like the Thanos fucking
And
hand.
this tells us so much
I'm surprised.
about my co-host.
I'm surprised
What are
doesn't
you
have
talking
his
about?
feet in his
I'm
toes
holding
in
it
that
with one
fucking
hand.
Yeah,
knuckle.
I know.
Doesn't it make
I'm
you-
holding
no,
this
no,
with
really.
one hand. Hold
Doesn't
on. Can I have a beer, please?
Well, I just want to mention that in contrast to what we might have expected,
I'm just gonna pour this in a cup
That's
and
an
drink.
I have drank all of my samples.
That's an old
Really,
money,
like
right?
9 more cans.
And
to fill
Alan
up.
Denney has
Oh.
much more whiskey still left.
Oh, he's gonna chug it.
Oh, there's something exciting happening here.
Look at that.
Anyway,
I'm just so disappointed right now.
I'm feeling like Toby Keith read Solo
Where did
Cup.
those cups come from? That is amazing.
those weren't supposed to be speed cups.
Everything that you gave us to
And dump bucket style.
absolutely fantastic.
That's 100%.
Wait,
with minor tweaks and differences here and there.
Grego, light.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you replicate, like for example, barrel 2? Now, when we pick it, how are you going to replicate it multiple times?
Well, he doesn't have to
That's the
replicate
point.
it because
That's the
we're
beauty of it.
choosing this
Yeah, that's
one
kinda-
barrel.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of a single barrel is
It's
there's
a one-time
that
thing,
is
baby.
that is the one time it's really ever going to taste like that. Now there's similar profiles on the barge, but I mean that is what makes them so unique and so much fun.
I see.
And it's ours now.
Yeah.
How many bottles can we buy?
I just wanted to mention,
As many
if
as you
you
can.
wanted this one that we chose out of all 5 of these amazing
Beautiful
ones,
whiskeys.
this is going to be the Smokin Toastin
Yes.
Barrel Pick OH Ingram whiskey. And guys, we could not be more thrilled to be doing this with you. Seriously,
I am
This is-
Twitter-pated.
what does that mean
It's
exactly?
called X. It's called X now.
Yeah,
Whatever's in there.
I think you've sent Grego off the deep end over here with Twitter.
Oh my god.
We're all Twitter-cated. or
Just pour it in there.
We're all X.
Oh yeah,
It's over.
There you go.
It's over.
yeah.
There you go.
Fill up the solo cup.
Welcome home,
The
sir.
giant solo cup.
In case you've
Cheers,
ever
sir.
wondered if here on Smokin Toastin we do actually taste the things we talk about, the answer is fuck yes, we do.
No. Where's
Like,
my camera?
they don't
Hang
know
on,
the taste.
Hang on. Hey, can I just get one picture of you taking a drink of that there, Ian?
Go for Ian. This is Ian's Infinity Cup. And, which is kind of like the Infinity Stones in Avengers.
I've been trying to tell them.
I feel like
His
you need
hand
your expression
makes
to
me
be,
think-
I'm making the right decision.
Dude, his
Oh, yeah.
hands
He
moving up
always
makes me
does
think
that.
of fucking Thanos' hands. I just visualize the Infinity Stones there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Just gonna snap now.
That's what Jesus intended.
Yeah.
What's happening?
All right. So before we close out, 2 huge thanks. First, I gotta say, huge thanks to you guys at Eureka Heights, because not only are you persevering in a maybe more difficult environment for craft breweries, but we're gonna keep buying your beers because we want you to
Which is the only
stay.
thing that matters.
I also
Yeah,
want to
we
say
want you to stay.
thank you in retrospect because you guys have sponsored our show. I think more times than anybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Ian's got some pictures of you.
We
that
love you,
are-
by the
yeah, yeah. But Ian has some photos of you that really shouldn't come out.
Yeah, but at this point, just
Do you have at 713? You have a tasting room?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the? Where is that exactly? For
941 West 18th Street. Come on by, man. Yeah, let's do it.
yeah.
I love these guys.
Live shows.
I love these guys. I love Eureka Heights beers. I love everything that they're about, and I love that they are, like we said, persevering.
And they
in
love you.
a time that's difficult.
I'm sorry, I
for,
couldn't hear you,
craft
Chris. I
brewers.
was drinking my beer.
All right, well, was it a Eureka Heights beer?
There's a lot of echo in that huge
delicious,
cup
yeah.
that he's got.
More
Not
power
from
to
his
you.
head.
Yeah. Go ahead, take another drink. Let me see. Roberto should replace you.
No, it's funny when I put this up to my face.
Can't hear nothing.
Like I can't hear anything.
As Ian is fond of saying, you can criticize me all you want, but when you do, a little part of me dies inside. Fortunately, it's the part that gives a fuck. So, I didn't make that up. That was his. I stole it. I totally stole it.
To put that where it properly belongs. My little brother came up with that one.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing. My little brother has a way with words. One time we were at a bar and he had just
Imagine that.
he had just come back from the golf.
Ian at a bar?
And when you say little brother, based
brother.
on you,
He was in the army.
is he little?
Yes. Well, I mean, he's a little taller than me, but but he had come back from being on tour. He was in the army.
Oh, I know that story.
And
Okay.
and we're standing in a bar, and I know everybody at this bar. It's all kind of a fun thing. And the bartender gives my brother a Shiner Bock because that's what my brother really wanted. He was like, I wanted to be like back home.
Right. Have a
Shiner Bock.
Sure.
And he takes a sip and he looks super happy. Right as this girl that I knew, I used to date her in high school, came up and was chatting with me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in years. How you been?" And I turned around and introduced her to my brother, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, the last time I saw you, you were like this tall." And he just smiles and he takes a sip of his Shiner Bock. And she goes, "You must be really enjoying that." And he looks at her and goes, "It's like eating the happiness of a small child."
And by the way, that is wrong.
And I was never
Wrong all day long.
I was never more proud of my little brother than that moment. The look on her face was
So,
amazing.
I'd just like to point out that this is what happens when you watch a bonus segment.
Cheers, guys.
Of Smokin' Toastin'. This is what happens. So,
Bonus segment.
So, guys, this has been so fun. O.H. Ingram, you guys, we could not have made a bad barrel pick out of what you,
No,
out of
absolutely
what
not.
you provided.
right.
And it's like amazing and wonderful.
Scott, by the way, next time you're in town, I will make sure I have the next 2 days off.
Mostly because he needs to recover.
Remember how he did? Hey, Scott, remember how he ditched us that day of the whiskey riot?
Oh, I feel like there's a story that. I feel like there's a story that may need to be told here, but we're going to save that for a future episode because we are going to wrap up. Thank you so much to Eureka Heights for being here, and to our main man Joel. We're so
you're
excited
welcome.
you got to taste some good stuff this time.
Yeah. Let's never let it
This is the
happen.
guy that this is the guy that you love.
Yeah, right. Right?
Way more than Ian. Sure.
Absolutely, and that's not surprising. Another guest here who loves me more than Ian is Mr. Alan Denney.
Hey, Alan.
I love you, fellas.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Such a good dude.
Roberto, thank you.
I love you so much.
Thank you for
The
seriously.
Spirit Box. Go
Yeah.
look it up. This
Yeah, Spirit
Rob
Box
the
is
Spirit
awesome.
Box on Instagram.
You'll find it on our Smokin' and Toastin' Instagram. Smokin' in Toastin'.
Yeah.
And a lot of we always repost this stuff.
Absolutely, and we love Roberto and love having him on. If only because he gives us a little.
You know, they
extra
only
respect
have
from Ian,
shitty taste on margaritas.
Yeah.
He will never. That one we will
Never
never
forget
yeah,
that.
No,
They'll
no.
never
we'll
forget
never
that,
live
no.
that down. Texas Roadhouse. Thanks for the margarita.
Scott, Joe, you guys, you could not, honestly, you could not make better bourbon. This is such a pleasure to have these 5 selections to choose from. This is like a wonderful like excess of like, you know, just amazingness. And we appreciate you, and we love it. And by the way, this last thing you poured us,
Yep.
this
Fabulous.
this flagship, oh my God, that's out there.
Yep.
The Smokin' Toastin' barrel pick, it'll be a couple months before this gets out there. This one is available now, and you should get it.
So should I stick my head in again when we know the release date?
Oh,
and
absolutely,
market?
yes.
Make sure we
Yes.
Once we know,
communicate that.
we want to announce this to everybody because, and I will just say, it will be a perfect example of Smokin' and Toastin' directly influencing sales, because Ian and I will both buy a bottle on our way home from that show.
Oh, I
Yes.
can't wait.
And maybe Terry.
Yes.
Yes.
For
Make sure you make enough of it because I'm going to
Yeah.
want 40 or 50 bottles
Right.
myself.
Circle around, buy another
We'll
bottle.
take
I'll put on some
As a matter of-
glasses.
I
I don't even know
intend
what this means.
I intend for this to sell out, and I don't care how many bottles I have to buy to
It
make
will.
it.
It will.
As a matter of fact, not too long ago, I was at Specs Smith Street, and I saw a few bottles of single barrel O.H. Ingram rye sitting over there in the shelves available. No bourbon, but the rye one is phenomenal. I like their barely legal rye. It's amazing. I know it's a terrible term to say, but
That shirt's very
well, you guys made me feel like that when I said it. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm Scott.
sorry, what was that,
Scott,
Joel?
hold on.
What is wrong with you? Wait, Joel just said that.
Joe's more than just a beer guy.
If you would have seen freaking Joseph's, exactly. That's how you fucking.
What is wrong with you?
What?
You dropping your head in
child?
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, the answer is yes. He was dropped on his head as a child.
You said you made me right away. You started making me feel like never mind. It's fine.
All right.
I wish Scott would have seen because
Roberto has some deeper issues he needs to talk about.
No, because never mind.
I know.
All I have to say is, I think
Scott
we
knows what I'm
have
talking about. Like I said, the moment when
Scott's laughing.
because he understands the mind torture that freaking Joseph pushes through, like with his.
Yeah, he likes to do that.
Yeah.
You remember whenever we said that, he was like, "Well, that's not like how we should say it." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Well, that's not how we should." Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
In the words of one of the greatest rock bands of all time, Winger, she's only 17.
Oh, God. I'm not being associated with that.
Yeah.
Get Winger.
Okay, let's explain to the masses what barely legal rye means. That is, at 51% rye, the minimum freaking rye.
Okay. Here's what
There's a lot of explaining.
Yeah, let's start with one
Lucy,
simple
let's
thing.
explain it.
All right.
We need to state that before we say the words barely legal.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait a second. Can we just get Roberto to say, you got some splaining to do?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I just searched barely legal on the internet, and oh boy, you don't want to go there.
Well, that's when you have a lot of old creepy dudes thinking wrong things.
Yeah.
My job is to filter you.
All right. I'd like to close. I'd like to close with this true story. And I know we lost Grego here, but I think he'll be back.
Yes.
This is a true story from my background in radio broadcasting. I was working for a rock and roll station called 96 Rock in San Antonio, Texas at the time. And we had a show we were sponsoring with Kiss, Winger, and Slaughter. This was in the late 80s, early 90s. And
A lot of eye makeup going on there.
Totally.
A lot of last names going on there.
So, one of the things we did at the radio station was we had some backstage passes that we gave away. And I was asked as an employee to escort the winners backstage to meet Kiss. So we took the winners backstage while Slaughter, the opening band, was on the stage. Winger was waiting to go on, and then Kiss would close out the night. So we went backstage, met the guys from Kiss. They were in their makeup. They were all absolutely, sweet and awesome and posed for pictures. And then I had to lead my group of winners through the backstage area back out to where they could go out and enjoy the show. And as we went through, we passed an area where Winger was doing a photo shoot. So they had the canvases draped and the instruments in their hands and all of this, and they were all getting ready to do the photo shoot. And there was one young woman there whose job was to hold the fan to blow Kip Winger's hair for the photo. I'm not making this up. This actually happened. I witnessed it, and I mark it down as one of my moments of rock and roll
I
history.
feel like you're trying to recruit someone to hold a fan in this podcast.
I'm hoping.
And it's Cruz, everybody.
I'm hoping though that if Roberto takes his hair out of the bun, that we can hold the fan and make Roberto the curator of our moment.
So much for me trying to make people go buy that freaking single barrel from Specs.
Roberto, how are you with the massage?
I'm not want to buy that single.
That's right.
I have.
Thank you guys. I just want to say,
Much love, baby.
before we lose Joel, who has a great palate, even if it's wasted on buzzballs.
And he hates Ian.
Thank you. Yes. Which is
Hate is a strong word. That's correct.
It's one of the things we like about him. Have a great week, my friends. Thank you for enjoying Smokin' Toastin', including our ridiculous bonus segment. And get ready to go buy our barrel pick with O.H. Ingram, because it's going to be awesome. Number 2 rocked. We all liked it the best. You're going to love it.
Cheers.
Have a great weekend. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
That's a big cup, my friend.
It's alright when it's okay.